You are listening to Africa Business Radio. For up-to-date insights on the African business landscape, log on to www.africabusinessradio.com. Your favorite shows are available as podcasts. Download them on our website and mobile app. Africa Business Radio. Towards a profitable Africa.
Well, welcome to Africa Now. Africa Now is a show that this show brings you all the trending news and current affairs, as well as business updates throughout the continent of Africa and the African diaspora. But Dr. Lee, just going straight to it, as the director of the ITU's Telecommunications Standard Bureau, you hold a very serious responsibility, and you were elected to this position in 2014, and you began your term for 4 years in Busan. Well, you were elected in Busan, Korea, which is coincidentally your home country, and you've been in the telecoms industry for more than 30 years, having began your career as a researcher at Korea Telecom, where you worked as a researcher for 17 years. But upon your election, you stated that you will strengthen the professional capabilities within the TSB, and you also have a PhD in multimedia engineering. Are all this correct, Doctor?
Yeah, that's quite correct.
Okay. Now, Dr. Lee, can you tell our listeners on Africa Now, what exactly are you doing in terms of the ITU standards? What are you bringing about in terms of the standards for ICT in global development?
Yeah, I think it's that many of people understand of this. One means of this broadband connectivity. Broadband is very common terminology now. Most of this broadband connectivity is based on our standard, like optical networks or transport networks, including DSL, ADSL, VDSL, whatever. That is our standard. Another part is like some of the multimedia part. You use of this audio codecs and also UHD TV. So we have such multimedia codecs called H.264. You may be familiar when you saw these video clips at the end of the saying of H.264. That is our standard. We already launched of next version of H.265 that was concluded around 4 years ago. Got some of another award from the Primetime Emmy Award. Not only this part, like PKI for security, this is also our standard. It's commonly used all over the world when having of these security questions. PKI that was developed ITU standard, and quality of service. When you use of this ICT communications, we define of this quality of service. Like you and I now we discuss get some of radio interview based on our quality of voice service. This is not only one, so we have electromagnetic field, electromagnetic compatibility. Wherever use of these mobile services, we are a little bit wondering about what is the electromagnetic field, that the compatibility is harmful for us or not. All this is also our standard. So our standard, without our standard, I want to say, it's very difficult to in this today world. So all those are our standards.
Okay. Now, Dr. Lee, can you just share with us, based from where you're sitting, how do you embrace the viewpoint of people in developing parts of the planet, especially Africa that has over 1 billion people, when you set standards for products which they create and use?
Yeah, thank you for this important question. As you introduced, my responsibility is to develop a standard. But standard is not, I want to say, standard itself is not object. Standard is a tool. Tool for, definitely, for developed members to produce of their product, to invent of the implement of their invented technologies. Definitely, standard tool for that purpose. But also, if you understand of standard as a tool, like the many developing countries who have not enough capabilities to implement all technologies. But if we use of these standard organizations platforms to get of this informations like knowledge sharings and then also networking platforms, that would be one of the value how you can use of this standard for your especially this Africa continent, how you can utilize. And that this is not only one. After use of these platforms as a learning and sharing platforms, next page should be how these African communities contribute to develop of such technologies. Because even many developing countries did not have enough capabilities to make a produce or implement, but many of developing members, they have enough experience how to use, how to operate, how to maintain of device systems and services. With that experience, those communities is enough to bring your experience, your views to the standard organization for the enhancement of the technologies. That is, I think, is one of the important roles, especially this Africa, bring your views, your experience to the global international standard organization to improve our product and our technologies.
Okay. Look, at Africa Business Radio, our motto is towards a more profitable Africa. Now, you have been in this high office for the last 3 years and 8 months. How has your work impacted on Africa and the rest of the developing world? Can you give us a specific example, Dr. Lee?
Yeah. If I choose, there are many of activities, but if I choose one of the critical part is we have a very strong strategic programs called Bridging Standardization Gap.
Right.
The major goal is not just the sharing of this information, like a standard information. We want bring of this the African developing members experts, bring them to international expert. For that purpose, we try to say this bridging standardization gap. So, for example, is we provide very tangible hands-on training, practical hands-on training for experts from the developing regions. Especially, we had many sessions already had in Africa continent with African experts. With that, we bring of this our experience, like how we can identify the subject, how we can make that identify the subject as a proposal, how we can engage the meeting, how we can follow up the meeting, how we can update all these results into technical standard. All this, we after having of this several years, as an example, African community bring now very valuable contributions. So I'm very pleased to share with you, we have the first global standard to defining what is OTT, over the top service. It's a very, very important subject, especially this Africa continent, but we are very delighted. We are successfully, all global world is a support of that document. So we are rich of that. And on top of, beyond of this, we also have some very good contributions from Africa about the voice and the video over LTE interoperability issue, and also the combating counterfeiting, how we can protect those counterfeiting product, how we can help of this electronic waste subject, and also we do our some certain report about global roaming subject. So all those, I'm very happy to, with following of this bridging standardization gap programs. African experts will bring to ITU and to make international standard.
Okay. Now, Dr. Lee, we recognize that mobile telephony has grown so much in Africa. In fact, in countries like Nigeria, there's about 150 million cell phone users. But the challenge then is that there's still a cost factor. It's still more expensive to make a mobile phone call. Now, you as the standards chief for the ITU, is there anything that you're telling governments in terms of advising them to also have the landlines, or are landlines gone forever?
In any case, whatever we have developed our own technologies, mobile is very convenient way. But I want to take in this opportunity, stress again, without landline networks, there's one from complete end-to-end mobile networks should not exist. We need support from the landline networks. Take into account, we are going, this mobile communications is going to bigger bandwidth. So mobile broadband is getting bigger, like 5G, which to support at least minimum 1 gigabits per user. To support of this, to realize of this, we definitely need very strong and smart landline networks. So this is a very fundamental part. And taking into account of your question about this, the fees for use of this mobile, we are one of our expert group is continuously challenged how we can make a more balanced, cost or balanced charging of our communication services, especially in terms of this voice service. So they are continue develop of this all technical environment and the market trend. So still we have a certain difficulties, but with our effort, our members' effort, our current status is every year improved of this situation. So suddenly we will reach where everybody has enough to satisfy of that guidelines by ITU standard.
Okay. Dr. Lee, I was reading somewhere that one of your responsibilities or the roles of the TSB is to provide country code numbers as well. And I was quite surprised. But as you wind down your tenure, I believe that you'll be finishing your tenure very soon. Very soon. Is that right?
Yes. If I successfully elect again.
Oh, okay. You may be standing again. Okay. You're allowed to stand again. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay. If you do get re-elected, this question is this way. Should you not get re-elected, what would you want to be remembered for? And should you get re-elected, what would be your major focus in the next 4 years?
Let me try to answer this second part.
Yes. Should you get re-elected, what would you focus on? So answer that first, Dr. Lee.
Yeah, that is that, now one of the theme of this ITU Telecom event in Durban, South Africa, our theme is smart connected.
Right.
So smart digitalization, yeah?
Right, smart digitalization.
Digitalization is going on of this all corner of our society. But issue is, even we still have many challenges, how we can provide the connectivity to the unconnected communities. Definitely, this is one of the important theme of this telecom world. But for me, for my bureau, as a standard development, another next 4 or 5 years, another important subject is how we can bring smartness to the community, to the people. Right. Because after having of digitalized, we understand we need some support, use of these ICTs, we get benefit, smart life. Right. Because our life is connected. So, smart is a little difficult to justify, but, smart needs something like a sacrifice with, for example, sharing the data. But everybody understands sharing the data might be cause some concerns about security and privacy.
Right.
So something like that. So this is not only from this, only from the communications, but converging with other verticals like vehicles, how we can make this vehicle bring us smart driving.
Right.
Before even automotive driving, maybe we need something more helping of our drivers, like aged people's or disabled people's. Smart driving is very helpful. Even smart health, smart educations, smart agriculture. All this is a big subject. So next 5 years should be my one of big challenge is how we can bring smartness to our citizens, our people.
Right. And the other question, should you decide not to go for a second term, what do you want to be remembered for the last 4 years that you've done? What's your legacy?
One of our program in this telecom world is now, so this is our TSB ITT's initiative called Smart ABC.
Right.
Yeah, ABC means A is artificial intelligence,
Well,
B is banking,
right.
C is a city.
City, okay.
Yeah, so we did many efforts to harmonize these ICT technologies, building cities smart, utilize this AI and the banking to support streamline of digital life in smart city environment.
Right.
So that was we started from very, very beginning of my term last 4 years ago. And definitely how to support 5G in terms of this use of this landline and network aspect. So those combining, because we understand there's 5G should be the important essential infrastructure for building future societies. So all those four, but for the time being is the terminology Smart ABC. That would be my best memory. But I, just taking this opportunity, so I don't want to stop with this Smart ABC. Maybe after ABC, following D, E, F, or something like that.
Okay, you want to carry on doing your good work. Okay,
yeah, why not?
That's
Okay.
good. So, Dr. Lee, before you go, how many people are in the TSB working with you? Because I'm sure you're dealing with a lot of issues. What's the size of your team or your organization?
Yeah, all of my team is not that big. We have around 70 staffs.
Okay.
But so ITU is member-driven organization.
Okay.
So we have 193 member countries.
Right.
We have around 700 industry members, including the operators.
Right.
Also, we have around 150 academic members.
Right.
So all those, communities,
Yes.
they are contributor. So
Right.
they come to Geneva to organize a meeting. So in a year,
Right.
in general, in a year, around 3,500 to 5,000. It depends on each year, but those delegations come to Geneva. So our staff supported them all together. This is the operation of my bureau.
Okay, so you have a very good view of Lake Geneva from where you are, or the Kempinski.
Yes.
The Kempinski. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Chaesub Lee, Director of ITU's Telecommunications Standardization Bureau, based in Geneva, Switzerland. Thank you for coming to Africa Now to share your thoughts and also all the good work that you've been doing for the last 3.5 years at the TSB.
Yes, thank you very much. All my regards to South African citizens and colleagues.
You're very welcome. Make sure you get one of Nelson Mandela's shirts before you go and go to the beach.
Okay.
And go to the beach.
Thank you very much.
The food is great in South Africa. Okay, sir. All the best. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
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 Africa Business Radio is now available on Google Play Store and Apple App Store. Take us everywhere. Download the app for easy access to our informative content. Africa Business Radio, towards a profitable Africa.